There's this quiet, almost chilling warning making the rounds about the future of our own intelligence. And get this, it's not coming from the usual critics. Nope. It's coming from the very people building our AI future. We hear all day, every day about what AI can do for us. But today, we're going to flip that script and ask a much scarier question. What is it taking from us?
All right, here's how we're going to break this down. First, we're going to look at that warning I mentioned, straight from inside a top AI lab. Then we'll talk about how our jobs are shifting from being architects to just managers. And I've got a wild analogy from the world of aviation to really drive home the risks there. After that, we'll get into this big cultural shift from creating to, well, just curating. And that'll lead us to the big one, what's actually left for us humans to do. And finally, we'll wrap up with a choice that every single one of us is going to have to make.
So let's start with this warning from the inside. You'd think, right, that the engineers at a place like Anthropic, the multi-billion-dollar lab that created Claude, would be the most superpowered, empowered humans on the planet. But check this out. Their own internal research, which came out in December 2025, it revealed something pretty unsettling.
And I really want you to pay attention to the words they used here. They're not just saying, oh, we're getting a little rusty with our code. No, they're warning about something they call moral de-skilling. Think about that. It's a loss of the deep judgment, the ethical gut feelings that you can only get from real hands-on experience. So if the folks who are literally building our future are losing the skills to guide it, what in the world does that mean for the rest of us?
And this right here gets us to the core idea for today. It's called the Competence Paradox, and it's pretty simple but also pretty scary. The real danger isn't that AI is a helpful tool. The danger is what happens when that tool gets so good, so unbelievably helpful, that our own skills just start to fade away.
Okay, so this whole paradox thing, it's hitting hyperdrive right now. Why? Because our entire relationship with AI is going through this massive, fundamental change. For the last few years, we've been in what you could call the tool phase, but we are leaving that behind. We are now entering something completely different, the Agentic Era.
And the shift? Well, it's simple, but it's also incredibly profound. Think about it like this. AI used to be a hammer. A really, really smart hammer, but you still had to pick it up and swing it. Now, with these new autonomous models like Mistral's DevStrol 2, AI isn't the tool anymore. It's the worker. It's basically a digital employee. It doesn't just help you. It does the whole job for you.
So what does that make us? It turns us into managers of a black box, right? We just make a wish, we throw a prompt into the box, some magic voodoo happens inside, and poof, a finished result pops out the other side. But what are we losing? We're losing sight of all the messy stuff in the middle. The trial and error, the banging your head against the wall debugging, the actual problem solving. And that's the kicker, because that messy middle, that's where real expertise is born.
And this is the key insight, really. Expertise isn't just about knowing the right answer. It's about the scar tissue you build up from all the times you got it wrong and had to figure out why. It's the struggle. And AI, well, it's designed specifically to remove all that friction, all that struggle. And in doing that, it might just be removing the one thing that actually makes us experts in the first place.
Okay, if you want to understand the real high-stakes danger here, we need to look at a totally different field, one that's been dealing with extreme automation for decades. I'm talking about aviation. Pilots have this, frankly, terrifying term for what happens when your skills just waste away.
They call it automation surprise. And it's that nightmare scenario. It's the moment the computer glitches, the alarms are screaming, and the human pilot, whose hands-on flying skills have gotten rusty from disuse, is suddenly expected to be a hero and save the day. And the scary truth is, too often, they just can't.
And get your head around this number, 99%. For up to 99% of a standard commercial flight, the pilots are relying on autopilot. Just let that sink in. The one skill they absolutely have to get right, the one that saves lives, is used for maybe 1% of their job. But in that 1%, it has to be flawless.
This is a perfect metaphor for what's happening to us right now. We are putting our own minds on autopilot. So what happens when our AI makes a big mistake? When it hallucinates a critical legal fact or spits out some seriously flawed code? Will we even have enough foundational knowledge left in our own heads to spot the error, let alone know how to fix it?
And look, this whole de-skilling thing isn't just a technical problem for coders or lawyers. It's way bigger than that. It's a cultural problem. It's changing our fundamental role as human beings. And, well, it threatens the entire idea of craft itself.
We're in the middle of this massive shift from being a society of creators to a society of curators. Think about it. A creator stares at a blank page and builds something from nothing. A curator just looks at a menu of options and picks the best one. Creation, that's the primary skill. Curation, that's the secondary skill. And here's the problem. Without the primary skill, eventually you lose the ability to even judge what's good.
And the consequence of that is profound. If we all just become curators, yeah, we might get super efficient at cranking out tons and tons of average or good enough stuff, but we risk losing the ability to produce anything that's truly brilliant, because brilliance isn't born from the ease of selecting an option. It's born from the struggle of creation.
So this all leads to the biggest, maybe the most important question of all. When intelligence and creativity and production are all outsourced to silicon, what is our unique value proposition? What's left for us humans to actually do?
Seriously, in a world of basically infinite, perfect intelligence on a chip, if a machine can reason better than us, write better than us, and create better than us, what makes us special anymore? What is the uniquely human part of us that we need to fight to protect?
So what is it? Our taste? Our ethics? Our judgment? Yeah, maybe. But what if it's something else? What if the most uniquely human thing we have left is our sheer willingness to do something the hard way? To consciously choose to struggle, to take the difficult path even when an easy one is right there just for the sake of the journey.
You know, the trade-off here is crystal clear. Efficiency has become the enemy of competence. We are turning ourselves into hyper-productive economic units, but in the process, we might be becoming less capable, less resilient humans.
All right, so what's the answer? What do we do about all this? Look, the solution isn't to go full Luddite and smash the machines. We're not abandoning the technology. The solution is much more personal. It's philosophical. It's about a conscious choice each of us has to make to protect our own brains. First, we have to accept a fundamental truth. This competence paradox, it isn't a bug. It's not some flaw in AI that's going to get patched in the next update. No, it is a core feature of automation. The better a system gets at helping you, the more of you it will inevitably replace. That's just how it works.
So what's the takeaway here? It's simple. Embrace the struggle. Use AI, of course, use it. It's an incredible tool, but never, ever stop doing things the hard way sometimes. Solve the math problem yourself first. Write that terrible, ugly first draft before you ask an AI to fix it. Because the struggle isn't just some annoying obstacle on the way to the result. The struggle is the whole point. It's what keeps our minds sharp, it's what makes us capable, and ultimately it's what keeps us human.
So that leaves us with one final question, and this one is for you. As you bring these incredibly powerful tools into your daily life, are you making a conscious choice to stay the architect of your own mind? Or are you slowly, maybe even comfortably, becoming just the manager of a black box? The choice, as it always is yours.